brand new Pursuit line of paddles from Engage are ready to take over the pickleball scene. Offered in a light and standard weight class, there's a paddle for every playstyle. With years of development under their belt, the Pursuit MX and MX 6.0 feature an omnidirectional graphite hitting surface for excellent control. In conjunction with the paddle surface, Engage's unique Control Pro Black core was created to be the softest paddle on the market. The MX 6.0 is highlighted by a 5/8 of an inch core, while the standard comes in a smaller 1/2 inch core for similar feel but increased power. The MX offers a slightly longer face and elongated handle over its EX counterpart. I'll be the first to admit, when I started play testing the Pursuit Engage paddles, I was very confused about the differences and started playing with all of them, really liked what they had to offer. But once I got the Engage MX 6.0 in my hands, I was dialed in. It felt so awesome and completely in control of all shots from all over the court. I don't always hit two hands on my backhand, but love the extended length from these, so I could utilize that shot when I was feeling super confident and really just wanted to take a whack at the ball. I absolutely love the control from the 6.0 version. It's so responsive, really speedy in and out, but I always felt like I was in command. So I always knew exactly where the ball was going, and I really rely on that as I play with a pretty low margin of error most of the time. So really going to drop that ball at my opponent's feet into the kitchen and relied on the predictable response from these paddles. On serves, I felt really in command of the ball as well and like to even angle off some serves, and I will thank the surface of these paddles for helping with that. And on returns, I was consistently able to hit a nice deep shot, so my opponents were already on the defense from their second ball. All in all, I don't think you can go wrong with any of the Engage Pursuit paddles, but out of the 4 that we play tested, my favorite was the MX 6.0.
The Engage Pursuit line of paddles is like no other paddle I've tested. I can usually tell right off the bat whether the paddle is going to line up with my play style or if it's going to take a lot of adjustment, and I found very little adjustment time for these paddles. As a player who usually hits with a power paddle, I started with the non-6.0 version, and immediately the extended length of the paddle was something I kind of had to get used to because it's not something I would usually choose. So I noticed I was hitting a little bit closer to the handle, and it took me a few points to really adjust to that. But once I did, I noticed I was really able to get a little bit of extended length and reach out into the kitchen on a lot of my dinks where I would normally let the ball bounce. Then I took the 6.0 version out, and to my surprise, I liked it even more. That thicker core gave me a bit more control, and I found it was the perfect balance for my game. I didn't feel like I was sacrificing a ton of power from the non-6.0 version. It was still there. And I think the bigger grip size was really key in helping stabilize my shots when I was maybe hitting a little off center. The texture on the hitting surface was great. I like to add a lot of spin on my return of serve, so these paddles were an easy choice for that. When looking at the EX versus the MX, I actually found myself enjoying the MX a bit more because as a player with a smaller wingspan, I was finding a lot of benefit in that extra reach, especially when I was at the kitchen. Overall, I really enjoyed the playtest of the Engage Pursuit MX, so much so that I am going to be switching to the MX 6.0 for all of my tournament and league play.
In pursuit of a great pickleball paddle, look no further than Engage. Like Will mentioned, you've definitely got a lot of options for paddles. Out of all that I have tested from this company, I by far prefer the MX and the MX 6.0. You've got a little extra length on the handle at 5.75 and about a 16.5 inch overall paddle length. A little narrower at 7.5 as opposed to 8. But these paddles really fit my game. I'm kind of transitioning from a tennis game. These let me hang off the end of the paddle. I can really induce a wrist lag and a lot of whip. The grit on the paddle, this is one of the things that is a make or break deal for me. It lasts a long time. So throughout the whole duration of the play test, I didn't really notice the ball kind of skidding around the paddle surface at all. I was really able to induce a lot of spin, shape my shots. I've been involved in this sport since the mid-'80s when my parents built a pickleball court in our backyard. So I've seen the evolution of these paddles all the way from the wood laminate dillers to where we're at right now. If I was going to take a picture of a pickleball paddle and put it in a time capsule, I might choose the MX 6.0 or the standard MX. The 6.0 is going to give you a little more energy absorption, maybe a little more comfort and control as well. Not a big difference, but I definitely notice when you're going with the 1/2 inch paddle thickness, you're getting more energy return. So not a big difference for me. I think I prefer the 6.0 with the extra little cross-section thickness, but overall just a fantastic play test. Loved it.
We found that the MX and EX line of Pursuit Engage paddles played very similar and had very similar construction, so much so that it was hard for our playtesters to distinguish noticeable differences. So we think that there is something in this line of paddles for every player, whether you're looking for a standard length or extended paddle. For more information about these paddles, please go to totalpickleball.com.